Hi guys, Richard from Digital Foundry here with a performance outlook on the woeful Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. It's a bit of a tragedy really in many senses of the word, but what I'm really trying to get at here is that beyond the glitches and horribly wobbly frame rates, there is some old school Pro Skater fun here desperately trying to make itself known. As it is, what has been delivered is an experience that feels unfinished, unpolished and in no fit state for release. Filled with multiple bugs, Activision's latest and most likely final Tony Hawk game suffers from numerous issues, ranging from characters clipping through scenery, stuttering music and cinematics, along with noticeable texture streaming issues. Unsurprisingly, there is a hefty 6GB patch available to download at launch, in addition to the 7.8 gigs of data directly installed from the disc itself. And that patch is something of a necessity, well for PS4 owners at least. It improves the stuttering opening logo cinematics and the slow streaming of textures, and smooths out the frame rate to a certain degree during gameplay. But it's a different story on Xbox One. The patch seems to add an opening video that was present on the PS4 disc version, and well, it does very little else. Texture streaming is a real concern here. It takes anything from 15 to 30 seconds for high-resolution assets to load on Xbox One, with blurry areas easily visible across the ground, walls and half-pipes, something the patch doesn't seem to fix. Now here, matters are improved on the PS4. All assets usually resolve on screen within a few seconds once the patch is installed. The way the game deals with streaming in assets after a location is loaded also appears to have a noticeable impact on performance on Xbox One. Frame rates are more severely affected while blurry artwork is on screen, and we suspect that streaming in those assets during gameplay is causing a noticeable performance bottleneck. So in terms of frame rates, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 initially kicks off running at 60 FPS, though the game isn't able to keep up with that level of stability for too long. That said, less demanding missions do seem able to run with some level of consistency. Take one of the less demanding levels in the barracks location. Here the player performs tricks and gravity-defying stunts across a range of half-pipes, walls and rails. Now here, both platforms adhere to the desired 60 FPS for extended periods of time, allowing for consistent levels of response from the controls. Small dips do crop up during play, but it's nothing that unduly compromises the experience. However, when faced with more bombastic challenges, the appearance of particles and alpha effects causes heavy deviations in performance, with larger explosions, such as those caused by the popping of beach balls on an early mission, greatly impacting the stability of the gameplay. Drops ranging from the mid-40s to between 50 to 60 FPS are commonplace here, along with the addition of noticeable screen tear, leading to pockets of jerky movement that are hard to ignore. So those on-the-fly texture streaming issues that tend to impact performance on Xbox One, well, retrying the mission once all high-quality assets have loaded dramatically improves the frame rate, and while performance drops aren't completely eliminated, the amount of stuttering is noticeably reduced. From a general technical perspective, native 1080p resolution is delivered on both platforms, though bizarrely there's no anti-aliasing in effect. On the plus side, graphical quality is mostly a match between both platforms, with shadows, alpha effects and motion blur appearing identical. That said, the Xbox One features one solitary benefit over the PS4 release in the form of Anisotropic Filtering, which allows for better resolved texture detail at steep angles when viewed from a distance. By contrast, PS4 uses a lower quality trilinear approach, resulting in blurrier artwork. Clearly there's a long way to go before Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 can be considered a worthwhile swan song for the long-running franchise. The dated visuals could be overlooked if the core gameplay was up to scratch, but the odd collision detection problems, randomly unreliable physics and glitches that cause mission markers to become unselectable, well, all of that stuff ruins the fun. Both Activision and the developer have said that they are working to fix the variety of bugs and flaws throughout the game, so hopefully those bugs can be cleared up to provide a stable, glitch-free experience via future updates. But until then, it's impossible to recommend Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 on either platform in its current state. However, for those still looking to take the plunge, it's the PS4 version that offers up the better experience at this time. Aside from the poorer quality texture filtering, frame rate drops are far less frequent, and texture streaming is less of an annoyance. So, that's the bitterly disappointing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Not exactly the most positive report, but if you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to Digital Foundry for more console and PC tech analysis. So that's all we've got for now. Thanks for watching.